I mean, so one answer is maybe it doesn't. A super good answer, like, to your question is to challenge, like a philosophical move would be to challenge the question, what if it doesn't help, but it in fact makes it worse? So part of what I was suggesting before about ways you could have different thoughts. So one of the things that's interesting, like I suggested maybe there's some versions of thinking about God and the universe that might help us deal with certain kinds of suffering, so certain religious views. But you can imagine actually having thoughts about a God who is good and just and the like, making your life worse, that you have some expectation of the universe that's not unlike you would expect people, things of friends, right? So expect people to be certain things. So, why don't people act differently than they do? Or like, I gave someone a gift, why didn't I get a card? Like those kinds of thoughts, and like they're constantly disappointing you. So so you can imagine actually having certain kinds of thoughts as making your life worse because it develops expectations. Arguably, like philosophy could help also though for that reason. So in ways of maybe giving you certain thoughts, it can also help you get rid of those thoughts. So you realize like if I can just learn to drop this thought, then that would help. And I see that the thought itself maybe is false or it isn't a necessary conclusion of any sort of argument that I would ever be able to reach. So maybe I just give up on that. So it can do that. I also think like it's worth the earlier point. I mean, I don't know if different people feel about this. I think it's not a psychologist, so I can't say I know about this stuff, but my sense is there would be some psychological benefit to being able to name things. So if you can distinguish between, for most people, if you mention suffering, then, they hear something bad, but actually it's the idea is, well, no, the bad suffering is the useless kind, the suffering that actually makes you feel good about yourself at the end. Like there's this thing that I didn't want to do, but I was forced to do it, and I suffered through it, but now I'm really proud of myself. So realizing that some sufferings have ends that really do seem to make the suffering, put it in a completely different light, that's something that you can get from conceptual distinctions that philosophers would draw, I would say. I don't know if that helps, but